So, we finally got the news that I think is actually going to save the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he will be playing Doctor Doom. We actually got the confirmation here from Marvel today at Comic-Con. This was the announcement right here. The Russo brothers return to direct Marvel Studios' Avengers Doomsday, starring Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Only in theaters May 2026. So I just did a live stream actually talking about this. I was wondering, like, where are they going to go next? We're sort of like reacting to the whole stream, and I'll talk about some of the other reveals in a second, like the stuff that we learned during today's stream. But I was really feeling like, oh, I don't know about Marvel. I don't know what direction they're going to go in, because as excited as I could get about Fantastic Four and Brave New World and Thunderbolts, I'm like, this isn't really a smart direction overall. You know, for Avengers, I guess 5, and now we know the title of Avengers 5, and Avengers Secret Wars, which they also did confirm that, by the way, the Russo brothers will be coming back to direct both Avengers Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday. So this is the logo right here for Avengers Secret Wars. It's actually releasing May 2027. Really incredible, really like just less than 3 years now, which kind of seems like that's very, very quick. But I mean, obviously not, I guess. I'm just kind of shocked that we're already, watching an Avengers movie, or going to be anyways, in 2027, because I feel like Endgame just happened a couple of years ago, and that was in 2019. So yeah, time's flying. But just to get into my reaction for this here for a second, I saw the title Avengers Doomsday, and I thought, okay, so this has to be related to Doctor Doom. Are they doing Doctor Doom? And then I saw a lot of people dressed up as Doctor Doom on stage, and I was like, okay, so that's clearly going to be the story here. And I got really excited, because I was just like, well, the Fantastic Four versus Doctor Doom, this is going to be a really incredible movie, especially if you take into consideration that maybe you bring like Wolverine back or Spider-Man. I feel like they might save those characters for Secret Wars, but I was thinking like this is going to be a really amazing moment here. And then I just saw that Robert Downey Jr. is actually coming back to play Doctor Doom, and I think that this is going to save the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't know what this means for afterwards, like, is he coming back to play Doctor Doom just for these two movies? I'm guessing so, because it's probably going to be a complete arc here. And yes, I do think Doctor Doom will be a part of Secret Wars. I feel like Avengers Doomsday is going to be one of those movies very similar to Infinity War, in which it's going to end on a cliffhanger of sorts. And then I think in Secret Wars, that's where it's sort of the end game scenario. And I think that's where we could see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, Deadpool. I think we could see Spider-Man. I don't know which Spider-Man, but I think we'll see, Spider-Man for sure in that movie. And I think they'll build up to a really incredible moment there. And so, yeah, really incredible news. And everyone is absolutely stunned by this. I mean, I was absolutely stunned. To actually see the reveal as well, this is going to go down as a very iconic reveal, because I wasn't expecting this. Like, I was really not expecting him to be in the crowd of like Doctor Doom's. And so for him to just like walk out, obviously, if you look at the outfit he's wearing, it's a little more green, like it's a different color than the other Doctor Dooms like on stage. Just the way he walks on stage, it's like you just know his body language so well, because obviously we know Iron Man that well, right? And then as soon as he takes the mask off, it's just like, yeah, I freaked out. I couldn't believe it. Like, Robert Downey Jr. is back as Iron Man, or not as Iron Man, as Tony Stark, I'm assuming. Eventually being Doctor Doom. And that's something that I know a lot of people are wondering about now. Like, he's obviously going to have to play Tony Stark, right? He's not Iron Man, but he's going to have to play Tony Stark, because there's no way that you can just really come back and play a different character and like you're not Tony Stark. To me, this makes sense. I'm pretty sure this is a story in the comic where Tony Stark actually becomes more evil and eventually becomes Doctor Doom. And so I think that's what we're going to see here. And I do think they'll use this moment here to really celebrate Tony Stark's legacy in general. And they'll call back to a lot of what happened at the end of Endgame, because obviously they can't do that. It'll be interesting to see how Deadpool and Wolverine, affects this movie as well. I will say Marvel is, I think, back from the dead right now. I think that, they have a lot going on right now. Like today, at Comic-Con, they announced that Fantastic Four, the title is called First Steps. That movie is coming out next year in July, and it looks absolutely incredible. The Fantastic car is going to be in there. It's actually being set up right now as like the Jetsons, basically. It's going to be a retro, futuristic timeline, I guess, in the 1960s, and it's going to be in a different universe, obviously. I feel like this could be the universe that Tony Stark is actually a part of, in which he eventually becomes Doctor Doom. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Thunderbolts, I know they confirmed some more stuff with Thunderbolts. I'm not the most excited for that movie, but seeing these announcements, makes this movie more exciting, so I probably will watch it. And the same thing with Brave New World. I was a little more excited for that because the trailer looked really great, I thought, but definitely I'm interested in seeing where this goes now. So I'm excited. I really cannot wait. All the news right now is going to be all about Robert Downey Jr. actually coming back to play Doctor Doom. And a lot of speculation right now is going to be really, I guess, just on what this storyline is going to be like. And I think this is why Fantastic Four is going to be a really, really big movie here. Like, this is going to be a big movie that answers quite a bit. We also did learn that adamantium is going to be talked about, or at least be a big focus in Captain America Brave New World. And so you can kind of see the future here being set up a little bit. I feel it. Like in Brave New World, they're going to introduce adamantium, and it's apparently coming from the Celestials and whatnot. So I think that that's a way that I guess you can sort of, I don't know if you want to introduce a newer Wolverine, but I mean, that there's an opportunity there anyways in that movie, or maybe that's set up for future movies, right? And I think Thunderbolts, there could be some setup there, but Fantastic Four is going to be the really big movie that really starts all of this here. And I don't know what their schedule is going to be like next, at least in terms of Phase 6, because Phase 6 is beginning with Fantastic Four First Steps, right? And then Secret Wars should end Phase 6, but that's very, very fast. And so I don't know if there's going to be movies in between there, just some other stories set around there. I mean, I would absolutely love, for them to make a Blade movie, but I just feel like they're not going to necessarily do that right now, just because of, like, I don't even know what's going on right now, but it seems like the Blade movie is just far from being made right now. So I don't know where they're going to be going next year, but it looks like a lot of the multiverse stuff here is likely going to be ending here, and then we'll see where we go with the next saga, right? Because the Infinity Saga, obviously the best one so far, but the multiverse saga, I mean, it's going to be ending really strong. Definitely, I think Marvel is going to, I think they've learned some lessons during the last couple of years anyway, so I think they'll make smarter decisions, just for characters and movies going forward. And yeah, Fantastic Four, The First Steps, I'm really hyped for that movie. Blade apparently is supposed to come out at some point, but I don't know when. But Doomsday, I'm just really looking forward to that movie now. So that's the big news of the video here. Robert Downey Jr. is now returning as Doctor Doom. Obviously really exciting. I think a lot of fans are just going to be overall like completely hyped for this. I think that this is just going to be absolutely mind-blowing here. And I'm actually seeing, just as I'm recording here, that Major, who's one of our mods on the Discord, actually said that Anthony addresses him as Victor Von Doom, so I don't think it's a variant. I mean, I guess it depends. Like, maybe they don't really want to get into the story absolutely yet, like in terms of like confirming certain details. So I'll just, in terms of that, I'm not going to assume right away that it's not Tony Stark, but I think as of now, I'm just going to say that it probably is Tony Stark, because I think it makes sense. Like, that is way more exciting. Like, you're not going to get Robert Downey Jr. to join the MCU unless he's playing Tony Stark. He's not going to play another character entirely, because, like, what's the point in, like, any of that, really? The whole point is that it's Tony Stark as Doctor Doom, and this is basically Iron Man if he was evil, right? Like, that's the whole point of doing all of that. If he's playing Victor Von Doom, you're just like, hey, wait, what? What's going on here? So I think if he addressed him as that was probably just more of a joke. And even if he knows that that's not true, again, I think he's just saying that because they're not going to give that away. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised if, like, they held back on that throughout a lot of the promotion for this movie, if we just don't see a lot of Doctor Doom just at all. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. This is really incredible news, and based off of everything that I'm seeing here, it seems like this is actually going to create excitement again for Marvel, and I'm just unbelievably hyped. So yeah, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.